Okay, so I think I'm live. Let me just see. Okay, let me just see how we're going with this. Okay, so I think I'm live. So welcome to my episode 5 of the Visibility Fitness session today. And we're going to be looking at LinkedIn stories. So how exciting is that? So I'm just going to wait and just double check that everything is going according to plan. And then we will crack on and I will start off all around LinkedIn stories. So exciting stuff is happening inside of LinkedIn. Okay, there I am. So that's fine. I just wanted to check that I was live. Okay, yes, hello everyone. Okay, so someone said I'm alive. That's brilliant. Okay, so today I want to talk to you about LinkedIn stories. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Anita Wong and I'm a digital visibility strategist and tech enabler. And I have been empowering business owners over the last couple of years to use social media as a tool to reach a wider audience. And specifically, we have been looking at the power of stories. So normally we have been working on stories over on Instagram and Facebook. And I am so excited that stories are actually or have been rolled out into LinkedIn because it's going to be a game changer for the way businesses can actually interact with other people on LinkedIn, and also business owners like myself. So small businesses, entrepreneurs, and work from home businesses can actually then bring themselves to the forefront on LinkedIn inside stories. So thank you for those of you who are joining me live. Do let me know if you're watching the stream live. I am actually live streaming using Restream to YouTube, LinkedIn, and my Facebook group and my Facebook business page. So wherever you are, please do let me know where you are. And we're going to look, first of all, at what LinkedIn stories are. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to talk you through it, and then I'm going to share my mobile phone with you. And we're going to bring LinkedIn stories up onto the screen so that I can give you a little tutorial about how they work. So if you have any questions about using LinkedIn stories or what it actually means, then please do let me know in the comments below. And I will definitely let you talk to you about it, and we'll go through how everything works. So, okay. So what we're going to do is, first of all, LinkedIn stories have copied, well, they are the same as, say, Instagram stories and Facebook stories, except there are a few different elements to it. So LinkedIn stories actually allow you to upload up to 20 seconds of a story. So you can actually video yourself for 20 seconds and actually upload into LinkedIn stories. And that's 5 seconds longer than, say, Facebook or Instagram stories. However, they do act the same as the other stories. So you do only have them on your feed for 24 hours and then they disappear. Now, on LinkedIn, it appears that only those who you are connected with will see your story. And also, if you follow a business page, then you will also see their stories. So you can it does give you a really good opportunity to actually break down that barrier a little bit and sort of get inside your other networks connections, and also, you know, learn a little bit more about the brands and businesses. Now, when you do use your stories on your mobile phone, LinkedIn stories is only going to come out of your mobile phone. So they should be like probably an increase in mobile applications. So if you're usually looking at LinkedIn on your desktop and you don't see stories, it's because you need to actually be on your mobile phone to actually see the stories and interact with them, because you can't see them on the desktop as yet. So what else can you do with your LinkedIn stories? So the same as with the other story platforms that we're used to, you can upload a video, you can actually upload a pre-recorded video, you can upload pre-recorded image pictures, so you can go out and take photographs and maybe make them, add some text to it and things like that. You can do all of those things and upload them into stories. However, you can also record short 20-second videos inside the Stories app on LinkedIn, and you can also take pictures with the Stories app on LinkedIn and add emojis and text and things like that, the same as you can on the others. So if you're used to using Instagram stories or Facebook stories and you're a business owner, then going over to LinkedIn on the mobile app is a really good choice for you, because it enables you to reach a different network with the same branding and business message that you have had before. Okay, so let me just check if I've got any other chat. Okay, that's fine. So I just want to double check that I've got chat from everywhere else as well. So that's great. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to just talk through to you. I've got some notes because I wanted to make sure I didn't forget anything, because stories on LinkedIn is very new. So there are a few things that you need to remember. So when you do post a story on LinkedIn, what happens is that you'll see along the top of your homepage, you'll see all the circles at the top, a bit like Instagram. When you go to your homepage on Instagram, it's all there. So the best way to connect with people inside of stories is actually on a personal story. You can actually send a message, and on a business story, you can actually share that business story with your colleagues inside the messaging platform. So the best 3 top tips to get started with LinkedIn stories is, first of all, if you've never had the mobile app on your telephone, to go ahead and download the mobile app from the App Store or the Google Play Store, and make sure that that's updated and that your profile is updated. Because when we start looking at when people start seeing your stories inside of LinkedIn, they're actually going to start looking at your profile a little bit more. And if you haven't been inside your LinkedIn profile for quite some time, it probably does have some outdated information. So here's some tips on what you could do. So when you check your profile, so first of all, go to the App Store or the Google Play Store and update your app. Secondly, check that your profile is up to date. So even if you just want to add a new profile picture to the circle, and I can show you where that is on the mobile in a moment, then you'll be able to do that. And also update the header so your job title is relevant to what you're doing at the moment. And also, maybe if you can, put a little bit of your bio in about what it is you do, how people can connect with you, maybe even put your website link or some social links in there. You know, you can go through and set it up. If you have problems setting up your LinkedIn bio, then do go ahead and connect with Carol Boskert. She's a LinkedIn coach that I've worked with before, and I'm sure she'll help you set that up. So stories is a great way of people getting to know and learn about your business. So some of the things that you can actually share on your stories are behind the scenes, snippets of your day, a day in the life, how-to stories, what you're working on or what your brand's developing at this time. Talk about the benefits of your product. So I know that some people, when they came to me to have help with Instagram and Facebook stories, that the content that they were sharing wasn't really to do with businesses. They just thought that because it was a story and it was a quick upload, that they probably needed to do a picture of their lunch, or maybe when they were out walking the dog. And that is perfectly fine to do uploads like that. But when you start to think slightly outside the box when it comes to stories, and you start thinking of how to use your stories with your business cap on, you start realizing that there is a massive potential in using stories, especially on LinkedIn, if you are really like more corporate, to actually really start to attract attention to your brand and raise brand awareness using stories. Yes, so someone just said to me that the content that I provide for them inside my Instagram and Facebook stories business plan would work. And yes, it would perfectly. In stories, it would definitely work because you are showing snippets of what you're doing. So we're going to go through some of how to actually use the Instagram stories app in a moment. So stories on LinkedIn really do give you the opportunity to raise your profile across your LinkedIn network. And then obviously, if you're creating stories for your business on Facebook and Instagram, then you can of course download those from those platforms and then repurpose them into LinkedIn. So you're not actually making more work for yourself, you're just repurposing the content that you've already spent time creating, which is really, really good. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do it, and then I'm going to talk to you about some of the apps that you might want to use to help create some of the stories when you want them to be more specific about your business, and maybe you might want to share them like the way that I'm suggesting that you share them. Over Instagram and Facebook, a lot of the research done about Instagram and Facebook stories as a business tool and to get eyes on your content is that you should be uploading between 3 and 10 uploads into your stories in any 24 hours. Now, recent research has shown that actually around 4 or 5 uploads is quite good. You get a lot of interested in your stories when you do that. So a story doesn't just have to be one upload in 24 hours. What I tend to do is I teach those that are in my course and my one-to-one clients that when you use stories, you take your clients on a journey, a bit like when you are telling a story, maybe in a video or in a post on your social platforms. You want to hook them in with that big, like, dramatic opening. Then you want to share some information about what it is that you're talking about. So maybe, for instance, you're promoting a free download that you've got. You want to put maybe like the front cover or the benefits of the free download, or somebody's testimonial about the free download, or your first upload into your stories. Excuse me. So that's a bit like the hook, like what's going to grab somebody's attention, and then they're going to stay and watch the next one. And in the next one, you want to tell them a little bit more about what it is that's included in the free download, the benefits of the free download, how the download's going to help somebody when they've downloaded it, and also highlight some of the issues that it's going to resolve, because your clients, you know them really well and you know who your target audience is. So why not bring that knowledge into your stories and actually reach them in that platform as well? And then at the end, the call to action would be, especially in LinkedIn, is to direct message me for the link into the download, and then you can send them in Messenger to your download page. Okay, so awesome. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to share my mobile phone with you, and I'm actually going to show you how to actually use stories so that you can actually start using them yourself. Now, if you're not seeing them on your mobile phone at the moment, just make sure that your app is uploaded and that it's updated, and just be patient, because I know that some of my colleagues got their LinkedIn stories yesterday morning. I didn't get mine till sort of late afternoon. And then when I was talking about it on my Facebook page, some people were saying that they'd only just got them in the evening. So it is rolling out worldwide. Just going to take a little bit of time for it to actually get to you. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my mobile phone with you, and I'm going to actually dive into LinkedIn and show you. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually open it up on the App Store so that you can actually see where you go to update it. Okay, so let me get it connected. And if you have any questions about what I'm showing you today, please don't hesitate to pop them underneath this video and I will answer them at the end. Okay, so you should all see my mobile phone on the screen, and I've got it opened on the App Store. So I'm using a iPhone to show you this tutorial. So if you have an Android phone, it may just look a little bit different. So if it does look a little bit different, then please, by all means, just let me know if it does, and I will try to sort of navigate you through. But usually the buttons aren't that different if they are, if it's on an Android rather than an iPhone. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to go to the App Store, and I've gone to LinkedIn, and as you can, mine says open. If yours needs updating, it will say that it needs updating. So you just go ahead and click update, and then we're going to jump into your LinkedIn account. So this is my LinkedIn account, and like I said at the beginning of the presentation, the live here, that just give your profile a little bit of TLC so that you can actually just make it so that when people do see your stories over on inside there in the LinkedIn profile and the LinkedIn feed, if they do click on your story and it goes to your profile, that they can actually just see what it is that you do, a little bit about you, how they can get hold of you, and all those sorts of things. Okay, so then what you want to do is you want to go to the home page on the left hand side, so the little button at the bottom, go ahead and click that. Okay, and then what you want to do is you want to, as you can see along the top, you should have all these little circles along the top. Do you see those circles along the top? They are the stories that have just been introduced to LinkedIn. And what that does is actually allows you to see other people's stories. So to see other people's stories, those pages that you're following, those companies that you're following, and the people that you're following, they are actually at the top. So you click on one of the, let's scroll across, you can see there's lots of different people along here. So if I go across, you can see lots of people. So let's just choose Ian, and Ian's actually shared the live that he did. And as you can see along the top, you've got these spaces. Now they're each increment of the story. So each one of those lasts up to 20 seconds and they go through until they're a bit longer. And obviously you can see that everyone's just trying it out at the moment. We're trying to work out, you know, whether we should be doing the same as what we were doing on Instagram and Facebook, or whether we should be using a different strategy over here on LinkedIn. And only time will tell with that, because we need to check what's happening with, you know, like how your reach is getting on, who's interacting with your stories, what's happening in the stories as a whole. Because at the moment, as far as I can tell, only those people who I follow or I'm connected with, or the pages and companies that I follow, I can see. Obviously, later maybe there'll be an opportunity for your stories to be seen by everybody, so that if people see your stories and they're not connected with you, there'll be a way of them connecting with you. Okay, so that's the sort of like where you find the stories. And then obviously along the left-hand side, the very top one is your own story. So that's why your profile picture is very important, because it's actually taken my profile picture and used that inside of my story window, so that people can actually see who, you know, that's who I am. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to, now there's two ways of you actually accessing the stories. The first way is by clicking the little plus at the top, and the second way is to actually click the plus button at the bottom. The plus button at the bottom is probably easier because it's less fiddly than pressing at the top. So when you press the bottom button, you can see along the bottom that you get quite a lot of options, but near the bottom, just above the creator poll, it says share a story. So when you click that, let me just put this in front of here, it's going to open your camera. And as you can see, it's taken a picture of my computer, and you can see me live streaming to you guys, and you can see my iPad in front so that I can see what I'm doing. So if I wanted to take a picture of that, I would just go ahead and let me just move it back a bit so you can see my little light, and I would click the button. Now that's going to take a still photograph of my of what's happening, and that still photograph is what is known as a story. Now that obviously can be a video as well. So if I wanted to go back and do a video, all I would do is I would click the back button, and instead of taking a still, I would press and hold the button at the bottom. Now, there's also another way of you getting information into your stories. You can actually press the window at the bottom left, which is your photograph album. So when you press that, it's going to bring up some other images that you've got. So for instance, I could actually bring a video that I prepared previously. So I could actually bring this video up, which is also one of the stories that I shared yesterday. I could actually pop that in. So that's a pre-recorded video that I created specifically for my stories on LinkedIn, because I wanted to encourage people to go into my training group. So if you don't know how to use stories and you'd like to come into my training group, then please by all means do join me in there, and you can message me in LinkedIn, and I will put the link to my training group above this video or below this video, depending on where you're watching it. So that's how you do a video from your photo album. And also you can go back and you can just grab a picture. So this is a picture of Gospel's story, which she's tagged me in. So you can actually bring it in as well. So that's how you bring all of those things in. So let me just go back to the actual one. I'm going to take a picture, a video. And when I press and hold the video, it's actually going to take a video of up to 20 seconds of me videoing what I'm doing. So I can do like a quick behind the scenes. You can see my laptop, you can see my microphone, see my wardrobes open, you know, all those sorts of things. And then what you can do is when you stop, it actually captures the video for you. So I wanted to do that without my wardrobe. I would just do it again. So I would just focus by tapping the screen, press and hold, and it's up to 20 seconds. So you don't have to get the whole 20 seconds in. So let's just do half. And then once I've got that video, it's really good, because now what you can do is you can optimize that video so that you can actually tell the people who are watching your story what your story is all about. So to do that, you have some options inside of here. You can just share it as it is if you want to by clicking the blue share button. However, there are some things that you can do. You can turn the volume off. So if you don't want the volume, you can actually turn that off and nobody will hear what you're saying. If I wanted to put the volume back on, I could do. Then you have this sticker option. So the sticker option actually gives you some stickers to put on. So the question of the day, which is something that LinkedIn has offered you, is it's actually asking you, like, where are you working today? Give a tour or share a picture. So it's giving you a bit of a prompt of what to do your stories about. However, if you push this up, you can see that there's lots of other things, like there's an update and there's some current statuses. So you can see that there's lots of different things. So I could just do this, just another day at the office. Now, obviously, I don't want it to be stuck right in the middle of my screen. So what you need to do is up the top, there's these little triangle, square and circle just at the very top. What you can do is you can click that and it allows you to resize that shape, big and small. So I could pop that here on the left, and you can actually press rotate, and you can actually rotate it if you want to as well. Now, you can do this with your finger, but it is a little bit more tricky to do with your finger. It tends to jump a little bit, so it's actually quite good just clicking that little option. Now, I've just done that. Now, maybe I might want to put a little bit of text on top, just so that I've got some text working for me. So what I would do, I just want to make sure that you guys can see me clearly. Let me just see, make sure, because my phone is not showing it very well. Let me just see. Okay, so then what you do is you put some text on. So you click the text button, and then you can type in some text. So showing how to use LinkedIn stories live. Check out my profile for the full video. Now, obviously, there's some color options down the bottom. So you can have some colors. So if you didn't want the blue, you could go for red, or you could go for orange or green or purple or gray. So you can choose which ones you want. Now, if you don't want it to be so blocky, you can go up to the top and click just the text box, and that makes it big or small. And then you can have it left or right. So you can actually have it centered, right, centered, like that. And then if you click the actual text box, like the big square, you can actually take that box 3D sort of feel away. And then you can maybe lighten up the text a little bit so it pops. And then you click done. And then if you want to move it up and down the screen, you can use your thumb and you just move it up and down. And obviously, if you want to make it smaller, you can use 2 fingers or 2 thumbs and you make it smaller, like so. And then that's pretty much how you do your story. And then all that's left to do is that you just go ahead and you click share story, and it's actually going to share that story. And as you can see at the top, it's just moving around. So it's just going to upload for me. So let's just let it upload. And whilst it does that, I'm just going to check if I have any questions over on YouTube as well, because I'm live streaming there as well. We're just going to check whether we have any there. And then I'm going to show you what that story looks like. Okay. So when you want to see your own story, you go ahead and you just click your own profile picture, like so. And as you can see, there's my story. And if I put my finger on it, it just holds it for me. And you can actually see that it's showing up and it's being viewed by other people. So you can see all the stories I've done over the last 20 hours, right from the beginning. And you can see at the bottom that I've tagged some people in there as well. So you can see how many people have viewed my story at the bottom. And you can also see, as you go, that how many people have seen them. And obviously it's quite new. And if people are using their LinkedIn on their desktop more than their mobile, they're not going to be seeing your view. So it's really trying to encourage people to actually view the story on the mobile, like view LinkedIn on the mobile. So that's something that people have got to get in their head, is to actually view LinkedIn on their mobile app, because if they don't look at LinkedIn on their mobile app and they're looking at it on their desktop all the time, they're not going to see the stories. So that's something that maybe LinkedIn might work on later, to actually encourage or to put stories onto the desktop version so that people can actually see that. Okay, so another thing to just quickly mention about stories is that if you want other people to actually see your stories, what you can do is you can actually tag people into your stories. And when they tag you, you actually get notified. So you see at the bottom, I have a notification. When I click that notification, underneath where it says that I've gone live, Gospel actually tagged me in her story. If I click that, it's actually going to open up onto Gospel's story, and you can see that she's tagged me in, and it's given me the option to whether I wanted to remove that tag or not. I don't, because actually when you tag other people into your business stories, it's a really good way of raising awareness of that story. And the reason that Gospel's tagged me in this is because she's actually working with me inside my stories program and learning how to use stories more effectively as a business tool. So that's why she's tagged me, so that I can actually look at her stories. Now I can actually share this story if I want to, by clicking back onto it. So let's just go back to it. At the bottom, it gives me the option to share it, and I can share it to my network. So I can actually share that on to other people, which is quite good. Now, Gospel's one is actually a business story. She's got a business page, because the reason I say that is at the bottom, you get the share option. However, if we look at a story from somebody who's an entrepreneur or a person who's acting as themselves on Instagram, on LinkedIn. So let me just choose Samantha. As you see at the bottom, I can actually message her directly, and that means that I can actually reach out to that person and actually have a one-to-one conversation with them inside of Messenger. Okay, so let me just stop my share. Was there anything else I needed to show you? Just tagging, really. So if I was to create another story, let me just turn this round, and I wanted to tag somebody. So if I just did a quick picture of me. Okay, so when I wanted to tag somebody, so in other words, you want to raise awareness of your story, you have to go to the sticker, and you see how it says mention. There's that little sticker that says mention. When you click that, it enables you to mention somebody else. So I actually mentioned Carol Bosker earlier on, because I said that you should go and check out her profile and talk to her about helping you set up your LinkedIn properly. So I could actually tag her in there and actually say to her connect with Carol for LinkedIn support. And then I can just make that small, click done. And there you go. So now what I've done is I'm actually given Carol a shout out in my story on LinkedIn. So if I go ahead and share that, when she's watched my story, she'll know what that's about, and she'll get a gist of what's happening. And then when people do reach out to you, you can go to your Messenger area, and that's where you will actually get the interactions that you have with other people inside your stories. So I hope that was useful, and that you found that little introduction to LinkedIn stories very helpful. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to just check if anyone's got any questions. And if you have, I'm going to try and answer them while we're live. So let me just have a little look if anyone's got any questions. Okay, someone said good content, which is awesome. Thank you for that. Let me just check on Facebook if we have any. And I know that my group's watching, so I'm going to just jump into my group and have a little look if anyone has any questions in there, which would be great. Let me just see if any of you have got any. And I would love for you to tag me in your LinkedIn stories. So if you do LinkedIn stories, you give it a go, and you want, I'm quite happy for you to tag me in those stories so that I can actually see what you're producing and see how you're getting on with it, because that would be really interesting for me to see that you're doing that as well. So let me just have a little look if I can see if anyone has left me any comments. Let me just have a little look. Let me see. Okay, so not at the moment. There's a few comments about being here, so that's really cool. Let me just see. Oh, there we go. Let me just see, because it's just taking a bit longer for it to get up. So let me just see if anyone's got any questions. Can't find the questions. Okay, so if you have any questions whatsoever about this video and how to use your LinkedIn stories, then please don't hesitate to pop them beneath this video. And don't forget that wherever you are watching this video, to either subscribe to that channel or to follow me so that you get notified next time I do a update like this. So I go live once a week inside my visibility fitness episode. So this is episode 5. So if you have any questions or you want to watch some more videos, then please don't forget to let me know by subscribing or giving me a follow wherever or whichever platform you're watching this on. Okay, so I think that's it for today. Thank you for joining me, those of you who joined me live. If you have questions and I've missed them, then I will answer them in the reply area of the comments straight after this video. And if you would like to learn more about using stories for your business, both on LinkedIn and Instagram and Facebook, then please don't hesitate to jump into my free training group, which I will put the link to either below or above the video, depending on where you are watching and watching the replay of this video. Okay, so have a wonderful day and I will see you all soon. Bye for now.